All right, folks, we're back. So we give power to the stories again. Now let's take the next one. You know, demolitions, we can authoritatively tell you, are planned dismantling of buildings and structures to clear space for new construction. In Lagos, our Lagos, demolitions are something else. Lagos Commissioner of Police Jimoh Olorundare has categorically denied that in the contentious Makoko demolition, no bullets were fired by his men. He was reacting to the widespread outrage over claims that a protester was shot in the leg. The police commissioner insisted that only Teargas canisters were fired at protesters. CP Jimoh Olorundare also dismissed claims that he physically abused children. Kayode, these are times that try men's souls.
We spoke to Jimoh after this incident. In fact, he sent across his PRO, and he vehemently denied that police did not, they didn't use more than tear gas, that people were going beyond the ideals of protesting, and they had to do the needful by making sure that there was nothing like live bullets being fired at the protesters. And he said they have every evidence to defend all their actions. But having said that, I think what is important is police was unequivocal to say that they are not against protests, but they were going beyond the rules of engagement. And protesters. As protesters. That's one of the reasons why they had to do what they needed to do. But the issue of children being molested, I don't have my facts yet. But having said that, I think the issue of Makoko, it's something that state government has tried often and often to explain the reason for their action. And we can only wait to see what the outcome will be in the days to come.
Mayor, I personally, and I'm sure you don't, I personally do not begrudge Lagos State when it engages in this big city dream, you know, Lagos of the 21st century. But demolitions should be planned. Brings to mind the Makoko incident, Morocco incident.
Yes,
you
Morocco,
remember?
yeah.
You see, when you have a mega city like Lagos,
yes,
regeneration.
Or when you are planning,
Lagos is a mega city.
It's already a mega city.
Whether you like it or not, it's a mega city.
Okay.
So when you run a mega city like Lagos, or when you are in charge of a mega city like Lagos, regeneration is something you cannot run from. So in the 21st century, what we have in Makoko should not be.
Okay.
Should not be. You cannot have people on the shoreline living as if they were in the 4th century.
But they've been there for years.
Just wait.
We are not quarreling. Go on.
what they do is that these people are principally fishermen. So they created a home on that water. You understand?
That's what we are saying.
That's the they soiled the water. That's the same shanty that they built is what they use at the toilet. So they defecate straight into the water. You understand? That is not how to live.
Okay.
So what the government should do,
21st
I don't have, yes, the 21st century. I don't have any problem with government saying that we want to regenerate this area. What I have problem with is that the way our government is going about it. I don't agree. I don't agree with the way they are going about it. Why did I say so? What I expect government to do is that, we want to regenerate this Makoko area.
Okay.
We believe that people should not live like this. In fairness, I don't think that anybody living in that Makoko has a building plan. They don't. It's just that they have access. They've been there for a long time, and they've taken ownership of that space. Having said that, if I'm in government, for example, or I'm the governor, what I would do is to, or what I expect government to do, is that they will go to a place and build a low-cost housing scheme. After finishing building the low-cost housing scheme, they will now come to Makoko and say, you people cannot be living here.
After all, it's been done before.
That's what I'm saying. You people cannot live here. We are going to relocate you to another place. When you relocate them there, where they have now is just all these mini flats. They will have flats there, the toilets will be there, basic things that they need will be there. Then they can move from there.
Remember, I challenge you by saying, do you think they will not replicate what?
No, they will not. That's what I'm explaining to you, is that when somebody has a way of life, that is what they are used to.
Okay.
You understand? It does not mean they cannot have a better life. You are supposed to introduce them to a better life. And when off here, when we were discussing, I said, look, it has happened before in this country. The people living in Oluwole, in Isaleko, you understand? Most of the houses at that time were also, they were not really bungalows that more or less like shanties, because they don't even have toilet facilities. They used to use the pail system, where night soil men will come and evacuate those spaces. You understand what I'm saying? But when government wanted to use the place, they relocated them to Ogba. There's an Oluwole estate in Ogba. And people were living well there. They built, government built an estate, a low-cost housing scheme, and they relocated those people there. In fact, they named the place Oluwole, it's still there. There was a mosque there. They moved everything that they were used to, and they moved it there. Just that now they live in a better environment. And it worked. So government can do the same thing for the Makoko people.
Okay.
Let them move from where they will build one shanty and be messing up our ocean bed because of they don't have toilets. Build low-cost housing scheme, if it is even maybe 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom or mini flat, and build it somewhere and relocate all of them there. Then you cannot do whatever you like with that shoreline.
But I think
we cannot forget Okobaba, you remember?
Yes, so my worry now is the strategy the state government is doing is more of compensation. And when you give those people money, there's that tendency that they can just filter that money away into something else. So I believe that shelter is key. Shelter is key. People may not like us saying this, but it doesn't really matter. I was listening to the story of Raji Rasaki. I like to call you Rasaki. You know, when I say Razak, I'm trying to funkify it. You know, the then military governor, the story of Makoko, you know, it came from a personal experience when robbers tried to attack him and the military head of state, because I don't want to call him military president, Babangida them. And they felt, no, so if we can be vulnerable to these criminal elements coming from this area.
How much more the everyday man?
How much more everyday man? How much, you know, the kind of experiences we go through in traffic when these boys come from under the bridge, they come from different places. And you're saying it's a mega city. Mega city must also be safe. Mega city must have a decent living. So having said that, these people should be given a decent life. When they are given a decent life, build these places that he has mentioned. Probably, I don't know how far the state government has gone, but I know that they were doing compensation, they were giving them money. This is time you give them shelter.
How much are you going to give them?
I know they will resist it. Some of them don't want to stay away from the water. But excuse me, if Lagos want to...
I can see the place now.
If they want to self-fill it,
this one in Lagos.
And you know, it can lead to epidemic, it can lead to all kinds of diseases that can affect you and I.
Let us go and give them a better place to stay. But it's just that government must, you see, what I don't like about the style of government, and they do it in several places, including Jakonde Estate in Naija. I don't agree with the style they use. Yes, we will say that, oh, we are going to demolish this area, we have compensated them. That's trash. That's nonsense. Because how much money are you going to give somebody that owns a house in Jakonde and says you go and get a house? How much money are you going to give that? The thing cannot compensate with what it's going to lose. So what you need to do is to go look to an area, because government do housing schemes, so build an housing scheme, an estate, and then that is okay. It doesn't have to be expensive. It has to be a low-cost thing. Maybe 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, or mini flats. Build an estate. Know how many people
your conscience will be clear.
Know how many people you want to relocate, and then move all of them to that place. Provide all the basic things that they need in their places, and then you cannot regenerate that area and then make more money, because you still make money. You can build things there that will even generate more money to the state. I don't know why it's so difficult to do that. And they just believe that, oh, we have compensated them. We are going to compensate.
Yeah, Mayor and Kay, there are low-hanging fruits here. And let me talk about protesting and the reaction of the police.
You see, there are people who are going to protest. If you want to demolish people's houses, or you want to take them from where they are, it is not out of place to protest. It's a constitutional right. But at the same time, the state has the duty to protect life and property.
To protect the protesters.
To protect everybody, this community itself. Because, for example, you cannot say because you are protesting, then you are going to inconvenience people who are not protesting. You understand? And that's part of the problem that we have in Nigeria. You will see protesters, they will come on the road. Instead of them to just do their peaceful protest and enjoy themselves, they want to now be harassing people who are not part of their protest. I don't have to join you to do protest. We don't have the same problem. But so you have every constitutional right to protest, but you don't have the right to inconvenience other people. So if the police believe that they've gone outside the usual thing to protest, it is the duty of police to maintain law and order. I don't have any problem with that. But the protesters have every right to protest, a constitutional right.
Yeah, and Kayode, when it gets to a stage where the CP is accused of abusing children, it's not pleasant to the ear.
He needs to come clean. He needs to
he has dismissed it.
Yes, so beyond dismissing it, he needs to, if he is found to be wrong, he should apologize. But I know he has come out to say that they were not forceful, they were not hard on the protesters, but they followed the due process, that they were actually going beyond. Because this even happened when they went to the State House of Assembly, so which is not a bad place to go to, to express your hunger.
Yeah.
But if you don't have anybody attending to you, in fact, at the time, the lawmakers were accused of sending police to the protesters, but the lawmakers even said they were not even having any session.
They were not in any session. Because I saw the protesters
exactly
in the case that they came
when
to the House of
you were
Assembly,
driving
so I saw
past.
them, yes.
So basically, I think whatever subterfuge or whatever strategy the protesters want to use, what is important is your plea, your grievances should be communicated, and this thing should be attended to. But trust me, it has to be what is applicable to law. It's not by sentiment.
Shall we broach a little something, connect? Okay, I hear we have company. There's a caller Wale attempting to reach us from Ikoyi. Caller Wale.
Good afternoon, Mr. Citizen.
I greet you, sir. Welcome.
Yeah. The problem we have, I don't know whether it's in Black Africa.
Or Black Nigeria.
When the people put government into authority to administer them, the people who vote for them are the people they will not treat well. Makoko is an eyesore. But let me tell you, if government do enumeration for that area and know the number of people there and the number of people they can compensate, it doesn't take more than 20 million to build a one-bedroom apartment. I'm talking from my experience as a building engineer. That 20 million will provide 2-bedroom with soakaway, water system, electricity. And when you calculate 20 million, let us say you budget about 1 billion for that project. You have done enough for the people. Then in that area, you will put the service that people will now patronize, that will be generating investment.
Yeah, caller Wale,
Yeah.
Thank you. We got you first time.
You were just repeating what I said the other time, that government should spend money.
It is not rocket science.
Yes, government should provide money to provide basic things for these people. If you regenerate that particular area, you will make the money back. You make the money back because it's a fortune. So you can do so many things there, so many things, and you will generate the money back. But think about the people living there. Think about them. Invest more money. The government is always looking for the easiest way out, and the easiest way out is that let us compensate them, and then they will look. For example, if you look at this shanty now, maybe they will say that, okay, we'll give this one 1 million, we'll give that one. So when you look at the cost, it's nothing to them. They should not do that. They should build an estate and relocate these people.
And again, gentlemen, Lagos is not a big environment compared to Niger State, if you understand.
Course,
Niger State is the biggest.
Lagos is the smallest, yes.
Lagos is
yes, Lagos is the smallest, actually.
Along with Bayelsa, you know.
Yes.
So land, space, and all that. But let me introduce this element into the discussion. Permit to build structures is also at issue here. An erection is taking place, nothing happens until after the erection is complete.
No, that has to do with corruption. I can tell you that. Lagos State Fiscal Planning Authority is they are quite up and doing. Now they have the Lagos State Building Control Agency. They're also up and doing. But the problem we have has to do with corruption.
Sorry,
and not obeying the law.
Sorry, another company, Agbaje is on the line from Lagos here. Are you there? Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Yeah, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, your television is interfering.
Good. My own contribution to this issue is that, good afternoon. My own contribution to this issue is that Lagosians, the government needs to learn how to communicate better. The government has to communicate with the citizen better. I think it's a good development because that Makoko is an eyesore. You know, but the thing is the communication, and the citizen should be ready for development. Anytime you want to see transformation, you will see things like this. But I think the communication is not adequate. And possibly the way the government is communicating with the citizen in that area is not organic. Government is not talking to them in their own terms. And government is not coming up with a formidable arrangement that will make them to understand why that has to take place. So I think it's a lack of proper communication. Because for me, I do drive a long time.
We got it first time, yeah. And
he was almost landing on his thought.
Yeah, you were saying, Mayor.
Yes, this is just the same thing that that they've just said.
We're talking about corruption.
Corruption.
Okay, the principle. What I'm saying that the physical agency and the Lagos State Building Control Agency, they are quite efficient. They're up and doing. I can tell you that for free. The problem that we have in Lagos State has to do with corruption and people not obeying the laws. Yes, corrupt officials and people not obeying the law. Because normally, when you get a permit, you're not supposed to start building until you have your approval.
Okay.
And then when you are building, the Lagos State Building Control Agency is supposed to supervise at every level of that building.
So you don't go out of the script.
Out of what has been approved. And then when you even finish the building, you are supposed to get a certificate from Lagos State Building Control Agency.
That's true.
Those laws are there. But you see, somebody will now come and decides that this land, maybe you go to somewhere and you bought the land from Omonile, who sold you a land that is in a green area on top of a mains.
Okay.
You understand? Or you seek for approval. The approval is not coming. You understand? You commence building. And then when people come and say, oh, you cannot build here, you pay those corrupt officials. They look the other way. You go. So you can be there for 10, 15 years.
Until
then the government comes and wants to enforce the law.
To right the wrongs.
And you understand? And then they will come, and some people will say that, but this man has been living here for 15 years. Who gave the approval? Then the government will say, okay, bring the approval of this building. There is no approval.
Ew.
So it's just because the man has been able to bribe corrupt officials to allow him to be able to get away with that, and the man has broken the law by not following the daily process. But it's not as if those laws are not there. I can tell you that for free. The Lagos State Physical Planning Agency and the Lagos State Building Control Agency, they're up and doing.
All right.
You know, my worry is, in the case of Makoko, Did they even get any plan?
No, those are not even.
So
just
basically, whatever the government wants to do is a favor.
it's a favor,
This
yes.
issue we're talking about is to attend to those people, because in most cases, you must have promised them during election that don't worry, we are going to take care of you.
Yeah.
So be bound by your words. So provide this and let them know that this is, in quotes, dividends of democracy. It's just to put it rightly, because when it comes to what it is, I think they should be cleared and they will have nothing to gain.
Those people don't have approval.
Exactly.
They just take, they took control
Who will
of that
give
space.
approval to you
They
to
took
be...
control of that space because they found it, they found that they could do that there.
nobody is
That's why it's just
stopping-
like I said, that people do things because they've been there for a long time. You
Yeah.
understand? Everyone just assume that they have right. No.
No.
Because they're on
Mine is, if you see the footage that we've been watching, if there's a breakout, if there's
An epidemic or something.
epidemic there.
No, because those are massive. That's why I'm telling you that in a 21st century Lagos,
Look at that.
we cannot afford to have that. I know Makoko very well.
Yeah, look at
I
that.
know Makoko very well. But what I'm telling you that when you look at that place, it's just that some people will just use plywood to be able to do one shanty on top of water.
Yes.
They defecate straight into that water from that their room. You understand what I'm saying? That is unacceptable. We can't do that. And that's a shoreline. You understand? We can't do that. It's important for government to. So government has every right to do regeneration in that place.
Yeah.
The only problem that I have with government is the way they are going about it.
Okay.
I don't agree in this compensation thing. I believe that we should relocate people to new houses because that's where they stay. So
All
just relocate them to another place. Do that first before you start doing, and you will get your money back.
Okay, then, let the debate continue in your part of town. Ours is to give, you know, clarity and context to the story.